Hey everyone. So you will be catching this on the replay because I am doing this live as unlisted. I do this once in a while for those who don't know because I need to save time and not have to worry about editing and uploading and all that. So this way I just have to deal with any mistakes I make and it's already up there ready to go. Anyway, so this video real quick, and sorry, I'm getting ready for work because I'm really pressed for time. But this video here that I'm making was inspired by Katie Joy's recent antics, really. How she's come at Vera and the group in general. And she wants to rewrite history. And she wants to just really paint herself as this innocent victim who did nothing whatsoever to anger anyone or to possibly bring on anyone's posting about her. Now, there's the list of things that people have found offensive is entirely way too long to state, especially in one YouTube video, especially when I'm as pressed for time as I am today. So that's not what this is going to be about. I'm going to basically just highlight one such thing, one such viewpoint, point of view, depiction, if you will, of Katie Joyce that has very much so angered people and just left them feeling with an overwhelming sense of disgust, I think. Now, I want to first state that I know nothing about autism, really. Like, I have no experience with it or whatsoever. So I'm not stating that anything she's doing is, in fact, one thing or another. I'm mostly more or less going off of the statements of other people who do have some sort of experience with this or knowledge of it. And this has been their sentiment. So I am of the belief to think that they are correct in their assessment, much so than anyone else, including Katie Joy. Now, let me show you what it is I mean. So on our first screenshot here, oh, by the way, the intro you saw is the Halloween intro that Fucking Reagan had made for me a while back. I was been looking for it for a while now, and I just haven't found it and been able to play it in time before Halloween. So naturally, I find it the day after Halloween. Yeah. So there it is. And also stay tuned because at the end of this stream, my outro is going to be the one that she made for Christmas some time ago that I never ended up using. So I'm going to start using that now. So yay. All right. So our first picture. Now, as you can see, this is from December 14th, 2019. No, wait, that's not supposed to be there. Where is? All right, so we're going to start here. We'll come back around to that one. So, like I said, mistakes and all this gets taken. So here we have some posts by Katie Joy back in October 2018. And now their first one there, their tweet there, she says, "My son is," and I redacted that because the bit of information she's sharing about her son is incredibly personal. It's regarding a piece of his body, a part of his body that should not be the topic of discussion for anyone on social media, including his own mother. So I just redacted that. But I wanted to point out how comfortable she is to use and exploit things about her kid for attention online. Next we have, or no, before that, I'm sorry, October 2nd, it stated. It says, "I get it. Some of the men in the group are autistic and use that as an excuse for being single, lonely, and depressed. My son is autistic, mildly, so I understand where you're at." And I point this one out because, one, she mentions how her son is mildly autistic, which she paints a totally different story every other time she's discussed this. But I appreciate her stating it that way here, at least here. And I want to also just make clear that she's talking about groups of males who are commonly referred to as incels. And this is made clear coming up. Next, she says, "Honestly, having an autistic son is concerning and hits home." So she's saying that she's concerned about these things because her son is autistic, and it hits home because she fears that this could be her son's future. Okay. Next we have January, again, 2019. Is that? Yep, okay, that's right. So next we have, right. "I would just wonder what kind of personality disorders or mental illness plays a role. My son is autistic, so by no means do I lump them in a box and say this is why. I just wonder how they come up with these bizarre social constructs." Again, she's still talking about incels. Here she says, mind you, this is January 2019 one. "Don't you think many of these incels are either mentally ill or autistic? I've noticed tons of autistic men in these forums." "Oh, I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. My son is autistic. It was something I noticed in the forums. This is right up there, I think, with that interview video she did where the other people on the video asked her if she thought her son would be capable of being manipulated or convinced into offing someone someday. And she, without hesitation, without skipping a beat, she said, yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes. And now I get what you're saying. Who knows? Maybe her son is, of such a way. But I don't think he is, because anyone who's seen her son, like on videos and such, or streams, the few times that she's, had him on there, you can see that he is a very capable young boy. Well, he's, I think, over 10 now or something. So he's coming to be, young man. I don't know, whatever, an adult almost. But he's very capable. He's very talkative. He's very, I don't know, dare I say not normal, like he's average. I think he is. I don't think that he doesn't come across as deficient or anything in any way, stretch of the word. Now, for granted, I'm only talking about little clippets of the boy, for granted. But I don't think he's any more susceptible to being manipulated into committing such a heinous act any more than the rest of us, is what I'm saying. Next. Okay, now we come into this one. Where's the first one I have? Okay, there we go. Oh, no, wait, that one gets read last. Huh? Okay, here we have from December 14th, 2019, talking to this emo princess person. My son is autistic. I am actually ADHD and have many traits of autism. Same with my husband. Listening to sound bites taken out of context is what they do to paint me as a monster. Next, we have, I'm sorry if you felt offended. I would never, ever take your experience from you. We live with autism every single day and embrace my child for his strengths and unique quirks. To which this emo princess person says, I think a lot of people are offended right now. Having traits and being autistic are three totally different things. Trust me. I wish I only had traits and wasn't autistic sometimes. But then I realized how smart I am and wouldn't change it for the world. To which Katie says, my son is autistic. I get it. I'm sorry for offending you. I am. We love autism daily. He's the greatest kid in the world. Then we have, I do. My son struggles with emotional regulation and social interactions. I definitely understand the straightforward, no filter. That's our life. Then she says, I'm not neurotypical, though. I have a diagnosis that isn't neurotypical. My son is autistic. Have you missed that part? I know the struggles and the great rewards. You know the struggle. Okay, even if her son were autistic, how does she know the struggle? All right. She knows possibly the struggles of a mother to a child who's autistic, but not the struggles of autism itself. Next, she says, my son's autism gives him unique gifts. So amazing. I'm sorry if my comments were insensitive. Definitely not my intention. And then she says, did you hear what I said? My child is autistic. I am ADHD with sensory issues. Same with my husband. I'm sorry for offending you, but it was taken out of context. In other words, I'm so sorry that you felt offended, but it's kind of your fault that you were offended because you took it out of context. So that can befall me. That's a you problem. And then, I already read this, I think. I'm not neurotypical, though. I have a diagnosis that isn't neurotypical. My son is autistic. Have you missed that part? I know the struggles and the great rewards. So here she is on Twitter arguing with someone who has stated it, labeled themselves as autistic. She has admittedly stated that she's not autistic, though she claims to have certain traits of autism. No doubt she will absolutely claim to have the traits that she finds desirable, but not any of the ones that she doesn't find desirable, like the ones that need to wear, incontinence clothing or something, that's not a dig really at what people say about her. It really wasn't a dig. The similarities did not even come to mind until after the words were out of my mouth, but I'm going to leave that in there. Anyway, I don't really think she wears a diaper. I really don't. I just want to say that. It's far more likely she just had a fat ass that day, right? That's what I think, anyways. So here she is, though, like appropriating autism, trying to apply it to herself, trying to apply herself as being living with autism or whatever. I mean, she says that she knows the struggles and the great rewards. When in actuality, according to her, it's not her, but it is her, but it's not her. It's her son that lives with it. So she knows all about it. So she can tell another person who is claiming to have autism that it's their fault because they took it out of context. She's sorry that she offended them, but they did take it out of context. I mean, take some personal responsibility here for your shit. That's what she's saying. It's unbelievable. But more importantly, I want to call attention to the first few screenshots I read there. The ones that were from 2018 and the beginning of 2019. I think that's what it was. Where she's discussing this group of incels and their societal constructs and their loneliness and their aggressiveness, their views on the world. She's accrediting that type of thing to autism because according to her, the one who has really very limited experience with autism, according to her, she sees so many examples, so many similarities between what she reads in these incel forums or whatnot to what she sees in those with autism. She's equating the two. Not saying that everyone with autism is an incel, but stating that many incels, in fact, have autism, and that could be a contributing factor to their, I don't know, their societal construct. I guess we'll stick with that. That's amazing to me, and that she stated this publicly on Twitter of all places, and no one thought, holy shit, that's kind of fucked up. You're saying that those with autism or those who have these views on the world, that you think that they develop these views by and large due to their having autism. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and say that that's an incredibly ableist thing because, I don't think it's my place to judge whether or not something is ableist because, like I said, I have very little to no experience or knowledge or education on all things autism. So I feel like it's not my place. But I want to say that my having very little knowledge or information on autism, I almost walk away from reading that thinking, oh, so those who have autism are more susceptible to adopting this way of life, this think. And those who are of this community are very likely to be autistic. And if that's the case, then what else does autism lead to? If not, if autism has a connection to the incel lifestyle or whatever, well, what else could it be connected to? Like, that's what I would walk away from this had I not just had a little bit better, if I didn't know better, okay? And I very minimally know better, I think. So chances are there's people who have read that who really didn't know any better and absolutely walked away with that thinking. That is incredibly harmful and potentially even more harmful to the entire autistic community and their loved ones, is it not? That could very well shape the zeitgeist of how we view and interact with autism, right? I don't know. I think that something here should be clarified, and I feel like this is right up there with the claim that she made about how people were putting her life at risk by telling people that she was racist. Her and her husband were racist because that's how people get shot. Well, who is it that's going to shoot someone who's racist? It's not going to be like the KKK, right? No, it would be those affected by their racism. That's what she's implying. So she's implying that people of color are likely to hear that they're racist and show up at their house with guns. Like, how is How is that a stereotypical racist thing right there? How? I don't know. Anyways, I feel like here's what she's doing. I feel like she's perpetuating this negative connotation that those with autism are just, they're what's the word I'm looking for? Unpredictable. They should not be trusted. I take issue with that, even though I'm not personally affected by autism. I do have close loved ones who are affected by autism, either firsthand or secondhand, or third hand, whatever, I'm not sure. But and it's from them that I draw my opinion here, because they're really the only opinions that matter. So anyway, that's it. I'm done. Now stay tuned for this outro. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day. Yeah, it's a short outro. All right. Bye.